Tony, your team had not faced a lot of adversity this season before tonight. Did you like the fact that things did not come easily in the first half and you kind of had to work for it in the second half and earn it?
Not really. I thought in the first half, that's Coach Lonergan does a great job. That's a well-coached team. It's a physical team that has some experience. And but the way we were really on both ends of the floor to start the game, but offensively, our unwillingness to be patient and break the defense down, one pass shot, first side, trying to force, was really a problem. And that we were fortunate to be down 4. They scored in the paint. They got what they wanted. We were real reactive defensively, and our offense just didn't match what we needed to. It was very impatient. So that was troublesome. But what I did like, I guess, so yes, to answer your question, to be able to bounce back and then in the second half have a bit more patience, try to get it inside, touch the paint, and sustain a little more defensively on that side of the ball was better. But you can't expect to start a game with that kind of mindset offensively and be effective, or you're going to be in trouble, and we were. And again, some nice plays by guys, but that's not the basketball we're trying to attain, and we have to learn from that, or that'll be a problem.
Justin, again, has another big scoring night. Is there something that he's doing? Obviously consistency was a thing you were looking for out of him. How would you characterize his play here in this early season?
Yeah.
Have you been surprised at how well he's gotten out?
No, he's done a good job. But I thought he and Malcolm were the ones that were getting us going down the wrong path early. And when they got us down the wrong track, that hurt. But he settled in. Justin and Malcolm did both. But no, definitely has showed improvement and consistency, and we'll need that. And definitely the tip dunk, he always makes those explosive plays that ignite the crowd and get things going, and I'm so happy to see that they've improved. But it's something that it's just next step, and you've never figured it out or arrived. And I think Justin should feel good about his improvement and stay hungry to keep becoming consistent and better. Same with Malcolm and those other guys, because I think they touched on it in the second half, how they need to be both individually and then obviously our team collectively.
What kind of sign was it that you weren't entirely wired tonight, that you went 3 for 7 from the line in the first half?
Yeah, that was obviously, I don't know what kind of sign. I don't know. We got to the line and missed the front end of the bonus once or twice, and then obviously guys weren't shooting them well. They're a physical team, GW is, and they really they run their stuff. It reminds me and is similar of like when Coach Skinner was at Boston College, that tight flex. So there's 10 guys mashing in the lane. Sometimes it looks like, someone said rugby with a basketball. You're in there and there's screening and grinding. And I don't know if the physicality knocked us back a little bit, where we were a little fatigued or anxious. Thought we were a little tight, to be honest with you, pressing a little bit. And that maybe shows up sometimes at the line or quick shots or things there. But certainly the physicality, we tried to prepare for it. But when you go against that tight flex and know how physical it is, it takes a little bit to get used to, and they run it well and tight.
Darian led you in rebounding, had a couple blocks.
Yep.
Seemed like he was pretty in the flow tonight on both ends. Can you talk about how he played?
Yeah, he was, his activity. That, I would tell Darian, you just be the anchor for us defensively. Be great on ball screen defense, protect the paint, but give us activity and be all over the glass. That's his key. And then just be opportunistic. I think when he does that, he's at his best, and it helps us the most. And again, that always comes down to, all right, who are you as a player? How can I serve the team? How can I help? And when he's locked into that gives us a real good lift. And he was, I thought, made some big plays tonight at crucial times.
Tony, it didn't seem like any of their big guys really had big nights tonight, but Kevin Larson seems like a guy who normally fills up the stat sheet, has an impact on a lot of different things, and it didn't seem like he was very involved.
Yeah, we tried to trap him at times, most of the time when he touched it, because he's so strong, and he's actually a good passer, so sometimes you get a little nervous when you're coming at him, but we just said, I guess it's stuck in my head, and it'll be tested through this year, but from playing for my father, saying, you should never let a good big man beat you. You know, you should always be able to try to find a way, whether it's with traps or things like that, and he's going to have to be unbelievable to get his looks, his shots, and we've always tried to go at guys like that in those situations. And he's a good player, and he's mature, but you know, perhaps he had an off game, but I hope it was somewhat because our defense disrupted him. I mean, he'll probably be the best to answer that, but we tried to make it hard for him to get catches, and then when he did get a catch, we tried to come at him.
The post trap looked pretty effective tonight. Can you just evaluate where that is this early in the season?
Well, that's always been an important piece of our defense. And, you know, kind of following off of Hank's question, I thought it needed to be there or we would have been in trouble. First time we did it, we were a little slow on our rotation, and they kicked it out and got a second pass for a 3. And but then I thought it gave us, you know, might have forced 2 or 3 turnovers, maybe more, but it just interrupted how they would usually play through the post because they really do a good job when they get touches. So that's something that you're constantly working because it's a 5-man thing. Your guards have to be alert where to be at the rim covering the spots, and your bigs have to be there real quick. And if we're slow or reactive on that, usually good teams will exploit it. But I'd say it was about a B-. How's that?
2 questions real quick. First question, no Devon Hall tonight, any particular reason?
Well, you know, I told the guys in the locker room, you know, some guys didn't get to play or there weren't as many minutes, just stay ready. You know, we felt like with the rotation, I wanted to look at, you know, some experience out there. And, you know, the guys' numbers will come. We went with Mariel. We thought that matchup with Keithan or Savage, who's very talented, we thought that was a good matchup for Mariel with his length and his ability to guard. And we thought we needed the way the game kind of went in the first half. And maybe, you know, certainly they would have done a good job, but we thought we needed to try to have those experienced guys on the floor.
And then 4 games in 8 days. What have you figured out, learned about this team during this early stretch here?
I'm glad we have a day off tomorrow. That's what I've figured out. I think, you know, playing that many games in that short of time and in a team like this on that 4th game on that 8th day, you knew you'd have to be ready. So the fact that they rallied and pulled it out of themselves in the second half and, you know, as we said, handled some adversity. You know, I hadn't played behind in any of the games, maybe one, I don't even know if we had, but so the ability to say, all right, can we be steady? And when it's wobbling a little bit, missing free throws, getting out tough, to be able to bounce back was a good sign. And that's also a credit to the atmosphere. That was nice to have that atmosphere this early in the season, and that, again, is important for us.